when we talked about what is the vision and national service, I think it does not begin or should not begin at the high school level. I think it needs to go to the primary school level.
Leveraging and launching our creative industries in the country.
That's gotten mixed reviews.
Well, I think what got mixed reviews is not the concept, but the labeling.
What we do today will affect those coming after us.
The police commissioner renewing focus on prolific offenders. Another murder in the capital. Police arrest a suspect in the airport gateway vandalism investigation. $2 million spent on a new government building, and Bahamians celebrate Mandela's birthday. We'll tell you how. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NV12. Thanks for joining us here at Cable 12 Studios. The government recently held informal discussions with Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett to discuss efforts to restrict bail for people accused of multiple violent crimes. Today, Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade told reporters it's an issue the police force is putting a renewed focus on. Christina McNeil has that story.
Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade expressing grave concern about prolific offenders receiving bail, something he says he sees all too often.
From where I sit, I'm concerned, and the reason I'm concerned is because where that happens, there is a high probability that a person that has done some serious harm to another person or attempted to cause some serious harm or grief in the community who gets another opportunity just might, in the second instance or third instance, in fact, accomplish what they intended in the first instance, meaning cause that harm, cause that death. And yes, I've seen many, many, many instances of that since I took the office as commissioner.
Greenslade says if a person has malicious intent and is not taken away for some sort of rehabilitation, there is a good chance that person will cause more harm and fear. The commissioner used the example of a man charged with armed robbery who also has pending murder charges.
There are a number of other very serious matters that we are looking very carefully at. I've asked our prosecutors to do due diligence, and I've asked them to make the strongest petition to the court to ensure that we can complete the outstanding investigative files, and some of them certainly involve murders.
Greenslade gave the example of a juvenile recently charged with a shooting who was charged with causing grievous harm earlier this year. Rather than receiving bail, Greenslade indicated that some kind of rehabilitation may be necessary to prevent prolific offenders from committing further crimes.
Offender reentry programs are specific programs that do heavy lifting and cost a lot of money. And most times those are initiatives which are led by government. You're not talking about just a few dollars. I have recommended it before. I know that my minister is attuned to it. I know the superintendent of prisons is certainly attuned to it. And across social services arenas here again, I repeat, in the Bahamas, very attuned to it. And I believe that you'll hear some more about that at the right levels as we go forward.
Greenslade notes the efforts currently underway at Her Majesty's Prison and other non-governmental agencies to reduce the recidivism rate, but he says introducing an offender re-entry program is not a decision for the police to make. This comes as the commissioner released the latest crime statistics revealing that overall crime is down. And while Greenslade admits that those statistics can be open to political interpretation, he notes that police are making a dent in crime.
Many of those persons that have committed serious crimes, we have arrested. And today as we speak, they are in prison. I'm very pleased. Many of them now have court dates. I'm very, very pleased with what I now see happening. Our courts are active. The Attorney General's office is active. There's a good relationship and now synergies across all of the agencies. We're not perfect, but yes, we're talking more.
According to statistics provided by Greenslade, between January 1st and July 16, 2013, 58 murders were recorded. That's 21% fewer murders than the 73 recorded during the same period last year. Attempted murder is down 62% compared to last year, and attempted robbery is down 15%. Rape is down 2%, but attempted rape has seen a 117% increase. Read more about this story in tomorrow's Nassau Guardian. For NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
A man was killed on his own doorstep during a double shooting in the East Street area last night. The incident occurred at a residence on Flint Street off East Street around 11:15 p.m. Superintendent Paul Roll, head of the Central Detective Unit, said the 24-year-old victim was with 3 other people when they were ambushed.
Along with another male, a female, and a juvenile, when the culprit entered the yard armed with a firearm and wearing a mask. This male then opened fire on the deceased, striking him to the upper body.
The unidentified victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The second man was shot to the leg and ran to Lewis Street for refuge. He was later picked up by EMS and taken to hospital. The murder count for 2013 now stands at 59. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to call police at 919-911 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. In other news, a 53-year-old man was arraigned in a magistrate's court today for allegedly damaging nearly 9,000 feet of road on the airport gateway along John F. Kennedy Drive, sometime between Saturday, July 6 and Friday, July 12. Police claim Thomas Rigby intentionally caused more than $1.2 million worth of damage to the road, which is government property. Rigby pleaded not guilty and elected to have his case tried in a magistrate's court. He asked Magistrate Darren Roll Davis to take bail into consideration. However, the prosecution objected in the public interest. Rigby was denied bail and remanded to Her Majesty's prison until September 16th, when his trial is expected to begin. Now, Rigby has the option to apply for bail in the Supreme Court. He was not represented by an attorney. Repairs on the airport gateway are expected to begin shortly. In other court news, a 34-year-old man has been remanded to Her Majesty's prison, charged with armed robbery and causing damage. Jermaine Russell of Cascarilla Street appeared before Magistrate Constance Delancey this morning, charged with holding up Herbert Brown and robbing him of $495 cash and damaging the driver's side window of Brown's car on July 7th. Russell was not required to enter a plea to the charge of causing damage. He was not eligible for bail and will return to court number 9 on September 26th for service of a voluntary bill of indictment. Well, the Water and Sewage Corporation is implementing another round of water conservation measures, and that starts tonight. The Water and Sewage Corporation wishes to advise the public and residents in New Providence that water conservation methods will be implemented to assist in building the storage levels. These cutbacks are scheduled between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. During this period, customers in New Providence may experience lower than normal pressures. The corporation is apologizing for any inconvenience that may be caused and says they appreciate the customer support as they work to improve their level of service. Well, coming up, Nelson Mandela turns 95 today. We'll tell you how Bahamians are celebrating.
For me as a South African, I'm so inspired to see the deep relationship that the Bahamas has with South Africa.
Stay tuned for a special NB12 report, but first, millions spent for the BAIC building and the leader of the opposition gagged in the House of Assembly. We'll be back with the details.